Well, it's the end of an era, guys. The end of Butterfly Garden. I wanted to give you this final tour of the park and show you everything I've done and everything I've added and all the little polished points. You can kind of see through the trees here the different areas of the park. That up there is elevation plateau or elevation mountain. This is a better term for it. And on the left is Little Loop Mountain. First of all, credit where credit's due. Tag in 3D for the 2-meter pathing, a lot of the Q-line pathing, and Shinguin for the dragonflies that you'll see on the dragonfly coaster. That was a workshop find on both accounts. I do watch Tegan on YouTube and enjoy the stuff he comes up with. Inside the park here, I did my classic thing where I had some kinetic motion with a people mover. I do feel like a people mover is a good option right over top of your entrance like that. And the first building I ever built in the park, the first structure that went into the park other than the park's gate, is this little terrace house. In fact, I think there's an episode, one of the first episodes of this series, where we build just that, and maybe this building across the street. Now that street there on the left has a lot of purpose to it, but we're not going to go there yet. We're going to take the main route. I added some of these toy box pack characters like minifigs scaled up, just to add some kinetic motion to the pathways of the park and the areas. But I also kept this vibe, this gardening vibe, because I want the whole park to be a fresh gardening space with rides and enjoyments all through it. There's shirts across the street. There's a smaller plaza here with some thrill rides along it, like a drop tower. There's Dash, a little wooden coaster. That's the route to get there, along with Little Loop Mountain, which is there down that road to the left. As you can see, as we creep along here, there's lots to see. We're going to come back here in the middle. And off to the right here, you would be able to go up to Elevation Mountain, which is all the way at the top of there. Elevation is that massive coaster. I've called it something different in other episodes, but sometimes I get into build modes and I just don't roll the camera, and that's exactly what happened here. I hit the end of the park and I just started blasting one building after another. I got into a groove. There's that t-shirt place, and then Kim's Gifts here. I wanted this to be one of those cramped, typical amusement park spots where it's really hard to move around inside there. And then Gulpy over here. Let's go back to the center again. And this time we're going to go straight. We're going to go past shirts. And there's another little shopping and eating area over here. There's also a staff-only zone kind of in the middle of all those buildings on Main Street, which I like that touch. There's a Chief Beef and a slush hour over here, along with the hats. Fantastic. Little hats on top. Little staff area here. There's the teacups ride with some coral overhead. I really love how this came out of the spiral. It's very rainbow colored from the air. It looks amazing. See guests running to get under teacups. Then down here, we're at the back part of the swings ride. Almost down the log flume. In fact, the log flume is down that little alleyway there along the creek. You will get to the big log flume, which I'll show you off later. If we come around here on the other side of this, there's this little hedge maze in the middle here to break this plaza up. I really enjoyed making this. This little guy here, he will trigger on a random event that happens in the park. And guests do use this walkway. Then over here is a little bit more on the other side, Dragonfly, which I enjoyed the heck out of these dragonflies. Amazing little workshop find. Here's Dragonfly. There are POVs of these. I'm not going to stop and ride anything. There's POVs all through my channel of all these rides. And if there's not, just give me a shout down below in the comments and I'll go ahead and whip one up. There's Looney Balloons, Pip Shot Juice, there's Pizza Pen, and Latte Love. I kind of like when each of the in-game brands has their own building. And that's what I was going for in this park. I kind of developed two different styles of buildings, a short and a tall, and then just added these brands, or sometimes fictional brands. So we're back in the center again, and this time we're going to go to the right. And I'm going to show you what's down here. So all this, there's Kim's Gifts. We're going to squeeze in here, and now we're on the opposite side to the swings ride. And you can actually see over here, here's the log flume at the end of the street. And if we go inside here, above your head is the log flume itself. And these two tracks, this track and the themed track. And then underneath, and I could not figure out what was spraying sparks at us. So from underneath, there is a shirt shop, some balloons for sale and other items, and a little restaurant or an eatery there, I think is connected to all the tables that are in the area. If you get down here and kind of creep up to the corner, you can see a bit of the log flume out there in the pondway. If there isn't a POV of this, remind me in the comments and I will get to making one. It is a very enjoyable ride, and I really had fun putting it together as well. We're going to go backwards down the street so you don't lose context. Here we are at the other part of the swings ride. And then, of course, the easy up to the top of the hill up here, which is where we're going to head now. We cannot ride that up there because we can't get off at the next station. So it would kind of be a pointless exercise. So we're going to walk all the way up here. And you can see me hesitate because I don't, even though it's a video game, I still don't want to have to walk all the way up here, but I do. You can see here how you get kind of interactive with the easy lift system there on the left. And then the airplane ride on the right here. And we come to this upper plaza up here. There's elevation. The fun coaster. It's a big coaster. There's a lot to it. I'll take you down here and show you like some of the layout. This coaster is pretty gargantuan. Really does fill the area up. If we go up here and we kind of come around to this plaza in the center here, we got some more brands. We got hot dogs, we got Pimp Shot Juice, and we got nighttime out of nowhere. Nighttime erupted there. This is a cool ride. I still haven't named this yet. It's like King's, I don't know, Castle something. I don't know. You fight a witch. And there's a really cool fireworks effect that goes off here, which I'm going to attempt to show off because you can see the carts are in line. There is a bumper cars back here, but I kind of glossed over it because I got excited about the fireworks here. This was a really fun series to work on. I think that a lot of what this series represents is me stepping out of my comfort zone, especially when it comes to my expressions, my creative expressions. Down here is a chairlift ride, which we are going to take now to the other side, back over to Little Loop Mountain. And there was a cool shot of the fireworks again. Now, of course, we can't necessarily get off at the next station, but there's this really cool thing called editing where I can do all the work, and for you, it's but a single instant. Like the blink of an eye. See that? We're now over here on Little Loop Mountain, and I think that this is such a cool, such an underrated little shop. This is this green eating shop, and then it's right next to a milkshake store. The greenery next to Cosmic Cow. It's kind of like a whole thing. And then you see all the posters, the nostalgia up on the top. And then we creep down here. This upper plaza over here Little Loop Plaza. This was a lot of fun, and actually I really enjoyed putting some of this together. There's just a memento here. If you look, there's all this whole area of the park over here. And the fireworks going off, of course. And we pan around here, and it's just lots of little things everywhere. We're going to zoom over here and kind of step off to this staircase over here. And you can see this goes down all the way to the bottom here, back around to this other plaza. So this is just to the side of the front of the park. And you can see we're over here by Dash and the gift shop by Dash. So there's this little confectionery here on the right, which was a really fun thing to build. I really like these cute little shoppy things. And it was a lot of fun to put together. It's never busy though. And then there's this gift shop in the break run of Dash. Spoiler, and I'm sorry about that, I didn't stick around for a train for this shot, which would have been cool. But there was one out there. Here goes Loop, Little Loop into its big loop. Look at that. I love it. And then over here's Dash, of course. We're going to go once again underneath these paths. And there's the little restaurant here on the left. And the tornado ride at the end. And there's the back of Dragonfly, which I think this little pier here is really awesome. And it enables you to do stuff like watch coasters do their routine. So there goes Dragonfly into its routine. A little bit in the dark, but it still looks awesome. Look at that. So then we go around the front here, along the pier, come past these bathrooms, and we end up over here where there's another little shopping plaza. There's Looney Balloons, Pip Shot Juice, Slush Hour. There's a Viva La Vegan and a Pizza Pen, vending machines over there. And then Teletech. Teletech is this dark ride with the vanishing stuff from Tagged in it. And it's such a cool ride. It's such a cool effect too. And then of course we just mosey on back to the plaza here. And this was at one time the most congested part of the park. I've kind of spread out and expanded the park here and there and everywhere, and I love this approach up this mountainside a lot. You got the video screen on the left, little loop on the right there, then the Ferris wheel. And as you go back here and you creep down these steps, you find yet another little hidden gem in the park. I wanted something to do with these lower zones and kind of give you another pathing choice. Especially on a super hot day, this would be a nice way to get up and down that hill. Yeah, look at that. If you climb the stairs to the end, it's literally the park entrance right up to the top of Little Loop Mountain. I'm thinking about building one in the other mountain as well, from the main plaza here. Like a midpoint climb up. But yeah, there it is. That's Butterfly Garden. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. This is a fun series for me to do. I'm sorry it wasn't more videos long. I'm getting better at that. We're going to start a new series coming up, which is exciting, and I think you guys are going to enjoy that. Kind of a whole new plot twist. If this was pushing me as far as my creativity goes, I'm going to push it to a level 10 in the next park, so look forward to that. Of course, if you want to catch up, there's tons of stuff. I'm going to do my best in the description to drop all the episodes that compose the Butterfly Gardens, not Buffalo Gardens, Butterfly Gardens. So until the next park, take care and so long.